Welcome to the November update. I'm John Ray, the project lead with NFTREASURE. Good to see you. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving if you were celebrating stateside. And we are going to be getting into all of the happenings from NFTREASURE in November. We'll talk a little bit about what's coming up in December. A lot of stuff happening, a lot of stuff that's been percolating and cooking for a long time, about to get released. So let's dive right in. We had a more active month than usual minting keys, 275 keys. I think a lot of that was due to people getting prepared for the new brand point system to roll out, and also the price of AVAX basically doubling in the month of November, which means that these keys are not getting any cheaper, folks. So we are just right one key under 70 or 6,800 keys, and we'll see what that growth looks like as we look at the treasure terminal stats here in a second. But 275 keys minted, not too shabby, just in time for brand points to be rolling out in the coming weeks, maybe a little bit longer than that. We'll talk about that in a second. In the month of November, our e-commerce revenue was $10,582, a little bit of a dip from the last couple of months. Some of that is that we were still fulfilling on some of the projects that had already paid us in earlier months, and so that meant that the team's time was pulled away. Some of it is that I think a lot of people were just wanted their money in the market. The markets were moving for the first time in a while. Everything's on fire. I think as people start to take profit and things settle a little bit, we'll get back to normal. And we certainly have some things in the pipeline that I think are going to make December a really good month and a really good close to a pretty incredible year in e-commerce growth. I mean, starting at $3,000 or just under $3,000 in January and closing out in these higher digits over 10,000, I think it is really great for us for our first year in e-commerce. And as we move into 12 months, 13, 14, 15, and beyond, what I decided to do is start putting a rolling average monthly here, because I think that will capture overall, are we trending in the right direction a little bit better, so that there's a reason that when companies put their quarterly earnings out, it's quarterly, not monthly. One month where sales drop doesn't mean that things aren't happening, that deals aren't cooking. It just means that those invoices weren't necessarily paid for in that month. And on the quarter looks really good. And I think this average monthly number is going to indicate month over month that we're trending in the right direction. But all told, $128,778 for NFTREASURE just on the e-commerce side as an e-commerce business in 2024. Pretty incredible, and we're just getting started. Now that the new site is going live, now that NFTs are popping again, meme coins are popping again, I'm on a lot of calls with a lot of these projects, and we're going to be able to do some cool stuff. Okay, so if you are unaware, Gribbly did us a solid and created treasureterminal.com. This is a really great way for you to get these statistics whenever you want, but I thought that I would start highlighting these in our monthly recaps so that people can get an understanding of what some of the core strategies in our PvP game are, and maybe you want to adjust to one of these strategies as you see larger wallets doing certain things. So you can always see the global stats at treasureterminal.com. You just type in global_stats like this, and you can see everything there. And one of the incredible things that we'll get to in here in a second, well, I've got it on my list, so I'll just say it. We implemented the 100% fast track fee, so you no longer have to wait for your key to be able to upgrade your key. So I'll show you in the dummy admin account here. We've got it so that you can upgrade key by key and still wait for the level, and that costs the same amount that it's always cost. However, if you really want to get to key number 150, we have a new boost keys button here. You can click this boost keys. Well, I don't have enough smarter to be able to do it, so I can't demonstrate it, but I've already demonstrated it in another video. Excuse me. Let's see. So upgrade keys. Oh, here we go. So I just drag this over and it shows me that for double the fee, 4.12 billion smarter, I can up level all the way to level 150. So if you're interested in doing that, that is now available inside the DeFi dashboard. And since implementing the fast track fee, we have burned 255 billion smarter. Pretty incredible. And what I love about the treasure terminal is that it shows how much of the total supply since the game started we've burned. So you can see we've burned over a third of the smarter supply. That is really incredible, and that's a testament to the math and written in our tokenomics and in Math We Trust. You can see we're already over 10%. We've burned 10% of the just over 10% of the supply on the treasure token. So this is a fun thing for us to be able to check in with and monitor as we see what's happening in the game. You can see that we still have 209 million treasure tokens that are being issued to the key rewards pool, 19 million that are being issued to the bonus rewards pool. And remember, when we hit the treasure supply cap, which means that these rewards are all distributed out, that means that the e-commerce buybacks start. And that's going to be a really exciting time to kind of showcase the thesis coming together for NFTREASURE. And that's where being positioned correctly and essentially, you know, having the largest percentage of the bonus pool that you can based on the 4 levers can become really valuable and equate to some mailbox money plus, you know, perks and seed equity in Project Y, the new project that will kind of house all of the bonus point systems and the additional tech layer that comes along with that. We do have our V2 product creator tool that has been in a final round of beta testing this month. And if you go to this address that's in the announcements, you can see what we're going to be going live with. You can launch the creator tool, you can select a product, and you can start designing something. So I won't go through the whole process now because I've already done it, but you can either sync your NFT or you can use some of our standard art here and pretty easily design a garment for you. So that's going to be going live, and we're going to be doing some marketing towards a lot of the meme coin and NFT projects. Now that those are popping off and everybody's excited about that kind of shift in liquidity flooding into those things, it's a really good time for us to be promoting NFTREASURE. So again, we are aiming for the new site to go live later this week. You can see the key supply since we started just at the end of February continues to tick upwards. You can see we've seen a little bit more minting in the last month than we did where things had kind of leveled out here. And again, I think a lot of that is people getting positioned for bonus points, and just taking advantage of the low cost of AVAX while it's there, because it probably won't be here again. Then you can see that the treasure supply continues to trend downwards as we burn more and more treasure. And this is the top 10 wallets by VE treasure balance. So obviously in the game, in the bonus rewards pool, you earn 0.02 VE treasure per hour for every treasure that you have staked here. So what this is showing is, based on the VE treasure that's been claimed, which wallets hold the most VE treasure. So an interesting thing to compare is the wallets that have the most VE treasure versus the wallets that have the most staked treasure. So there's been some movement by these top two wallets as far as staked treasure, and you can see that they've got more than some of these wallets that have the top VE treasure amounts. And it's because if you are an early mover and stake your treasure early, you've been earning VE treasure longer. And so then in order to catch up, you have to stake more treasure to kind of piggyback over or catapult over the people that have been staking longer. So you see that starting to play out. The top wallet in the ecosystem has almost 14 million treasures staked. Pretty incredible. Just under that is 10 million, followed by a little over 7 million, around 7 million here, 6 million here. A handful of wallets in the 3 to 4 million range. So again, this is something that when you go to treasureterminal.com, you can play around with all of these by doing VE leaderboard, and then you do chart, and then you do type. And if you want to do VE treasure, you would just type in VE treasure. If you want to do staked treasure, you would do staked. And if you want to see which wallets still have pending VE treasure that they haven't claimed yet, let's do that because I didn't put it in. You can see what those wallets look like here. So somebody's got 10 million pending. Anyhow, so you would want to account for that if you were trying to get in position for outranking some of these VE treasure wallets. Then this showcases the top 10 wallets that are staking Treasure AVAX LP. You can see one wallet is outstaking almost everyone by a large margin. Just goes to show that you know right now, if we go and look at the bonus pool and these levers here, the Treasure AVAX LP is getting 25% of the bonus pool. Yet one wallet is just dominating that position. So just interesting to look at as we determine what position we want to take in the game. And then for the Smarter AVAX LP staked, you can see the wallet distribution here. And again, you can always check that on the Treasure Terminal by going JLP_leaderboard. And then you would do chart. And then you would do type equals either treasure or Smarter to see whichever asset you want to see, and it pulls it up. Really cool tool that Gribbly has built out, and I know that he's got some other metrics that he wants to add to that. So if you can think of a cool data point that would be interesting to have in Treasure Terminal, let us know in the general chat, and we'll see if we can coax Gribbly into adding it. All right. This past month, I did a podcast with the Cookout Club. That was a lot of fun. You can click here and listen to that entire fireside chat. I was basically just talking about the upcoming bonus points and reward structure and how anybody can build merchandise that's connected to the blockchain. And we actually had a couple of high-profile people there, Elio Trades being one of them, who reached out after this podcast to get some merch going, and so that's an work in progress that we're working with some of those creators. But great group over at the Cookout Club, and I know a lot of them joined our Discord, so welcome and glad to have you. Let's look at the top creators by sales in November. I'll go ahead and pull them up on my screen so that we can look at some of the actual things. But the iHodl Live collection went live this month, and they had a really great turnout. Far and away the largest creator that we had this month. So if you go to ihodllife.com, you can see all of that gear there and pick up your unique iHodl Life gear. Then next up, we had Juicy did some really fun yacht wear with us. They're having a yacht party for Art Basel December 7th, and they did some enjoyjuicy.com booty shorts and a cool tank top. Those will be live on the store in the next couple of days, so you can pick those up if you want, along with an Enjoy Juicy men's tee as well if you want to get one of those. But this was a really cool idea, and we're hoping to get some good photos from this yacht party featuring some of this gear. So welcome to the Juicy Club, because they're our #2 creator this month, and we've got some redacted plans with the Juicy folks. They've got some cool stuff happening over at enjoyjuicy.com. Next, we have the Cock and You guys in partnership with Bybit are doing a trading competition. I love this tee. I wish that I could get one, but unfortunately it's $69,420. There's only 69 of these, and the only way that you're going to be able to get one of these tees, unless you pay that $69,000 fee, is click on this learn more here. It's going to take you to this official post that talks about the Bybit Cock and You trading competition that's happening. You can set up a Bybit account here, and it will introduce you to the rules of the trading competition, and the top 69 traders are all going to get one of these Bybit by Cock and You shirts. Jordan, our lead designer, did this design, and I just think it's one of the coolest shirts that we have. So I'll be trading over on Bybit, trying to win one of those, and I encourage that you do the same. But those 69 shirts, put them in third place for the month of November. Next up, we have Kuroshi. They, as you know, already did a limited edition t-shirt for the Avalanche Summit in October, and in November they have released a limited edition collection of the t-shirt or hats, and you can see those on the NFTREASURE store. And if you go to the Kuroshi Twitter account, let's go the Kuroshi, you can hit the notification bell here, and you can learn about some of the added utility that they'll be dripping out over their timeline that these shirts are going to have. But basically, there's some redacted utility that if you get one of these, you'll have. These hats and shirts all have an NFC chip in it, and that's going to become important in the Kuroshi NFT project. So good job on them being a top creator this month. Who else do we have on the list? The Balling guys are killing it. They continue month over month to be selling a lot of gear. Of course, this is all designed by DeFi-Sci, our artist in resident. So excited to continue to have the Balling gear flying out the door. The Pangolin guys continue to sell a lot of gear, and they've got their new V3 coming up. They're in audit right now, and they've got a lot of redacted planned. I talked to them a lot, really good guys, and I think we're going to be able to do some more cool stuff with them in the coming months as they release their new V3. Next, we have Red Pepe, our Pepe, on Avalanche. Some really cool gear. This is also designed by DeFi-Sci, our artist in residence. These are some of my new favorites. Definitely, I actually have been so busy I haven't picked up one of these, but I definitely want to get a couple of these because this is just a style that I really like. So check those out. One Third Nerd continues to sell these Wojak tees. They're a cult classic at this point. So shout out to One Third. The Meme Machine had some stuff fly out the door, so check out the Meme Machine. A couple of my unsubscribed shirts flew out the door. We had a rooster fly out. This is a design that Grenville put up. And then the Guru Wendell, continues to have some traction on his Pepe Portraits Unique. Just one of the most iconic, unique NFTs that are out there. So congrats to all of our creators. Here they all are here. That's the top 12. And yeah, as the new store goes live, I'm looking forward to seeing some new people climb up the leaderboard. I've already seen that a bunch of you have submitted some pretty cool designs, so it's going to be fun to get those out where you can promote them. If you submitted for a trading card, meaning you won one during our prize season and submitted that, you should have your trading card. The only caveat is that if you live in Canada, you may not have your card yet because the Canadian Post has been on strike for 3 weeks, which is absolutely insane that they shut down the mail in Canada for the last 3 weeks, going on 4 weeks now. So if you haven't gotten your card in Canada, that's why. They've all been shipped, but you can see what they look like. This is what Unknown posted of his. They come in a slabbed case like this. These are going to retail for $40, and we'll have it so that you can sync any NFT, hopefully by the end of the week, definitely by next week, and you can order as many of these as you want. And the turnaround time has been ferocious on these, but we do have our process in place, and these will go out once a week now. So it'll be much better turnaround time on these, but I absolutely love these cards. Then we do have our placeholder art in. So Jordan is still going to be doing unique artwork for each key level. But in the interim, if you up level to a key that we don't have official art for yet, you'll basically see a placeholder like this that tells you the key level. So this is the coveted 150 key. But as Jordan develops the artwork, we will replace this placeholder with the official artwork, and then we'll be creating a gallery where if you have gotten to a certain level, you'll have access to those keys to use in the product creator tool to order canvases or to just browse through those and look at that artwork. So that's coming. Then AVAX cards, we took a brief break while we were kind of figuring out how we were going to promote these with the Ava Labs team, but I think we've come up with some really cool prizes that people will be able to win by holding these cards. And you may have noticed that I've started to send out complete sets. So we've had a couple people in our community that won one of these sets now, and they both received those in the mail. We will also, redacted, given some alpha here. It looks like if you order something in December on the NFTREASURE store that is linked to a project that's building on Avalanche, in that order, you will get a random AVAX card that goes out with that order. If you share and comment and bookmark posts on my personal page or the NFTREASURE page, we're also going to be randomly selecting people each week to get individual cards and complete sets. So be on the lookout for that. But I'm glad that a couple of you have already been able to get one of those sets because they're pretty cool. Make sure that you claim them, because you got to claim, if you have a card, you got to claim that card in order to be considered for the prize airdrops. And then finally, some of the things that are a work in progress is that I did this month put together an unofficial investment guide. At this point, it needs to be updated because some of the assumptions have now been blasted out of the water. These prices have almost doubled since I wrote this. But relationally, this thesis of the 3 different strategies that you could utilize in NFTREASURE still holds. I will likely update this with some new prices and just make sure everything matches up. But if you haven't seen this yet, I encourage you to look through it. And if you have something that you think is off, you can just highlight it and click this comment button and add your comments in. And what I want to do is get this really tight and make sure that it ends up in the white paper at some point. Then what else do we have? I lost my place. Let me get back. All right, I've got a brand points guide coming. So Mikkel and I have been working with 2 new people that we brought onto our team, Andrew and Kenji. I'll introduce them when the time is right, but we are actively building out our agency team, and Andrew and Kenji are going to be helping Mikkel and I run the agency. We've already onboarded some clients that I'll announce next month, and yeah, we'll have some really cool ways to utilize brand points in order to engage with our marketing services. And I think that we're going to have one of the most unique offerings when it comes to Web3 marketing, just because we have a really interesting way with brand points to use merchandise as lead gen. And so it basically creates this mechanism that you can use the fees that you're earning from merchandise to pay for the agency services, and basically have your services tied to specific KPIs. So that means key performance indicators. If you want people to upload a testimonial, that costs a certain amount per testimonial rather than you just wasting money and hoping that it happens. So I'll be outlining how all that works. And a little alpha, we've added an additional perk for those of you who are earning bonus points with your keys, and an additional perk for how some of the agency fees get funneled into the bonus pool. So new ways to earn and for revenue from the agency to pass through to both brand point holders and bonus pool participants. So excited about that. Michaela and I are going to be recording a project update video later this week that kind of highlights where everything's at, highlights some of the timelines for these point systems, etc. And then we'll also be talking about the potential for NFTREASURE to be launching its own L1. So right now, Avalanche, through their Retro 9000 program, is offering $40 million in grant funds. And if you were wondering what those Frosty metrics points are for, you can use those to vote on which L1s you think should be given grant money. A loose accounting of points in the NFTREASURE community has us around 10 million points, I believe, which would put us in the top 15 on page 1, and that would likely get us some additional attention. So we will make an official decision. We've been working with a couple of redacted teams just to make sure that we've got our understanding of what's required to build this out. But we'll make that announcement later this week if and when we decide to move forward with an L1. And this would be basically a mechanism for our entire brand point system to live on, and for us to mint all of our merchandise, NFTs, etc. into this L1. And the reason for that would be for us to basically become a multi-chain entity or ecosystem where projects from any chain can easily bridge NFTs from our L1 into whatever chain they're on and utilize those rewards mechanisms. So be on the lookout for that. That could be some grant money that allows us to grow our development team and speed up some of our development times. So looking forward to that. And then finally, the OTC is open. I've funded the Smarter and Treasure tokens there. If you are looking to make a move in your strategy in the DeFi game, please use the OTC if you prefer that over the liquidity pool. There's a 2% discount for using that, and also no slippage if you're doing a larger amount. Shout out to Tram and his team for building the OTC. That has really allowed us to amplify what we're doing and hire some people that we otherwise wouldn't have been able to hire. One of the things, if we have enough community involvement in the OTC this month, that I am considering doing is bringing on the Swipe Labs team. So Swipe Labs is just killing it with Twitter marketing right now. They really have a cool system for getting you in front of the right people on Twitter, and I've been talking to their team. And so if we end up having some excess funds after we pay our existing operations and sales team, I may decide to work with the Swipe Labs team once the new website is live so that we can really crush our Twitter marketing over the next couple of months. So that's it for now. I appreciate you watching, and yeah, let us know in the general chat what you thought, what questions you have, what you're looking forward to in December, what kind of merchandise or projects you want to onboard into the new site. And we'll have a lot of announcements over the coming days and weeks related to the new site and launch. Thanks, everybody. Bye.